Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. This one is designed specifically for you, our future English educators. Today, we are going to unpack the complex sociolinguistic behaviors that honestly, you use every single day. We're taking the heavy academic theories from Chapter 2 and bringing them right into your everyday conversations and eventually your future classrooms. Let's get right into it. But before we get bogged down in the theory, I want you to genuinely reflect on your own lived reality. Seriously, think about it for a second. How many languages, or even just language varieties, have you already used today? I mean, maybe you woke up and spoke Kylie at home with your family, right? Then you switched to colloquial Indonesian to joke around with your friends on campus. And then boom, you shift right into formal Indonesian during your morning seminar. You do all of this seamlessly, literally without even thinking about it. Have you sent a WhatsApp message recently that looks something like, "Tugasnya udah di-share ke group"? Well, when you mix an Indonesian structure with an English loanword like that, you aren't making a mistake. You are actually actively engaging in a highly sophisticated, rule-governed, multilingual behavior. Honestly, this isn't linguistic confusion at all. It's sociolinguistic brilliance. So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Switching, mixing, and borrowing. 2. Diglossia and Polyglossia explained. 3. Rethinking classroom code switching. And 4. Local wisdom and language. Okay, part 1. Switching, mixing, and borrowing. Let's put some proper academic labels on the way you naturally communicate. We really need to distinguish between 3 core concepts because they're constantly used interchangeably, but they are absolutely different. First up, notice how code switching happens across a very clear sentence boundary. Like you finish an entire thought in Indonesian, "Saya sudah selesai tugasnya," and start a totally new one in English. Now let's move to the next topic. Now, code mixing, on the other hand, blends elements together within a single phrase. You're just dropping English words directly into the syntax of an Indonesian sentence. The absolute crucial takeaway here is that code switching doesn't just happen randomly. It's actually a highly systematic shift, and it's triggered by very specific social factors. Think about it. You might switch codes just because the topic changed from, say, casual gossip to a serious academic project. Or maybe a new participant just walked into the room. Or your physical domain shifted from the loud cafeteria to a quiet lecture hall. Your brain is literally constantly calculating all these variables and selecting the perfect code to use. Now, back to code mixing. This is that seamless hybrid blending we talked about. This happens within a single sentence or utterance, usually just at the word or phrase level. If you've ever told a friend you need to submit an assignment or you're waiting for feedback, well, you're code mixing. It's incredibly common in your daily student life, and it perfectly represents an active, informal, bilingual communication style. And that naturally leads us right into our third concept, which is lexical borrowing. This happens when a loanword from one language actually becomes fully integrated into another language's entire system. It adapts to the local phonology, the sounds, and the morphology, the word structures. A classic example, the English word download, officially becoming mengunduh in Indonesia, or even just being adapted informally as mendownload. The point is, it becomes part of the permanent dictionary, rather than just a quick temporary conversational switch. Moving right along to part 2, Diglossia and Polyglossia explained. Okay, so now that we know how we mix codes, we really need to understand the larger social structures that dictate when and where we use them. According to the classic theoretical framework laid out by Ferguson and Fishman, diglossia is this stable, socially structured arrangement within a community. Basically, in a diglossic society, 2 distinct varieties of a language are used, but, and this is key, they serve completely separated social functions. What is absolutely vital to remember here is that these varieties are not interchangeable at all. You don't just pick one because you feel like it that day. So here's how that separation actually plays out. You've got your high or H varieties, and these are reserved exclusively for formal, prestigious domains. We're talking education, religion, government, that sort of thing. And then you have your low or L varieties, which are used for everyday informal stuff, like hanging out at home or casual chats with friends. Research from Zhang in 2022 actually emphasizes that using a high variety in a low domain, like imagine speaking highly formal academic Indonesian to your best friend over a cup of coffee, it's usually perceived as totally socially inappropriate, or even kind of funny. In this case, the social context is always the boss. But come on, life is rarely as simple as just having two options, right? That's where polyglossia comes in. This extends the whole diglossic concept to communities where way more than two varieties occupy distinct social functions. And if you're in Palu or Central Sulawesi, you're actually navigating polyglossia every single day. Think about it. You might use the regional language, Kaili, right in your neighborhood, then colloquial Indonesian at the mall, then formal Indonesian in your university essays, and finally English in your ELT classes. All four of these occupy highly specific social niches. For you, the exact same speaker. It's like a giant linguistic puzzle. All right, Section 3, Rethinking Classroom Code Switching. Now, let's take all of this heavy theory we just learned and apply it directly to your future careers as English language educators. Because historically, there has been this old school myth in English language teaching that mixing languages is somehow a deficiency. The old belief was that if a student used Indonesian during an English class, they were basically failing. But as Eze and colleagues point out in their 2022 study, we need to completely abandon that myth right now. Multilingual speakers deliberately select and blend codes to facilitate meaning and bridge learners from what they know to what they don't. It is definitely not a deficiency. It is a deliberate, strategic, multilingual superpower. So when you eventually step into that classroom as a teacher, your own active code switching actually functions as a critical pedagogical tool. It serves three really major purposes. Number one, it acts as a scaffolding tool. It bridges what the learner already knows, their first language, to the completely unknown second language. Number two, it builds rapport. Speaking the local code just naturally connects you socially with your students. And number three, it is absolutely essential for clarifying complex instructions. It ensures mutual understanding so literally no one gets left behind. Code switching directly improves your instructional planning. Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Local Wisdom in Language. Let's anchor all these global sociolinguistic competencies right back down into the core character values of your university. I want you to think about the local philosophy of non-pangili. Non-pangili is all about exercising thoughtful deliberation and making careful situational judgments. So when we talk about choosing between a high or a low variety in Diglossia, or deciding exactly when it's appropriate to code switch in your classroom, we are literally practicing non-pangili. You are constantly assessing the setting, the audience, the purpose, and then choosing the perfect register to match. It's basically applied sociolinguistics, but firmly rooted in local wisdom. And going even further, understanding code switching as a completely legitimate strategy directly connects to the value of Manjaliku Nirtoria. This one is all about maintaining group harmony and preventing social exclusion. By recognizing that code mixing and using colloquial dialects are natural, highly rule-governed behaviors, you're actually ensuring that you protect your multilingual students. You're protecting them from being unfairly stigmatized just for how they naturally communicate. You are actively making your classroom a truly inclusive environment. So as you prepare to step up and become an educator, I want to leave you with a question. How will you harness your own polyglossic reality? I mean, you possess this incredible multilingual toolkit, Kaili, Indonesian, English, plus all those formal and informal registers. Are you going to use it to build bridges, or will you let outdated myths build walls around your future students? The next time you seamlessly switch languages mid-sentence with your friends, I want you to ask yourself, how can I turn this daily habit into my absolute greatest teaching asset? Keep observing the brilliant ways you already communicate, and we will see you in the next explainer.